Is MBS the Mahdi? Now, I made a video, okay, several months ago, and I quoted some people, not me, I quoted some people that this Mahdi, MBS, and people said, oh, you said it. I said, no, I quoted it. Means somebody else said it, so I quoted it. So today I want to make mention of this person, MBS, Muhammad bin Salman, whether he is the Mahdi or not. Okay, and this is very important to me because, as I said, a lot of you have commented. Some people, they got very mad at me, saying that, how could you say the MBS is the Mahdi? I said, I know, I quoted people. So the question remains, is he the Mahdi? Is he the MBS the Mahdi? I'm going to be presenting you with some proof, some facts, some very, very important information at the end of this video. But first, let me tell you this. MBS, Muhammad bin Salman, he is not the first person people are quoting to be the Mahdi. Again, not me. Don't blame me. People are quoting that this is the Mahdi. Some people say, oh, you know what? No. Muhammad Qasim is the Mahdi. And I call them deviant sects. Okay, these are deviant people because when you claim something without Quran and Sunnah, you are inventing something new, bid'ah. And I call these people who commit bid'ah as people who are dolala. They are misguided. They are deviant. Well, I would not go that far, but normally this is what we say in the khutbah, dolalatin finar, that every dolala goes to hellfire. Now, people say that Muhammad Qasim is the Mahdi, so let's follow him. And I have actually made a video about one person calling MBS, Muhammad Qasim as the Mahdi. And I said to this guy, make tawbah, repent, because we do not know the ghaib, how you say Muhammad Qasim is the Mahdi. Then another group of people, they say, well, you know what? Banu Hashim, the family of the Jordanian king, they are the family of the Mahdi. So the Mahdi will come from them. In fact, Prince Hamza, some of you have said, take a look at this guy, take a look at other guys from that family. This is the Mahdi. I said, no. Again, there is no clear Quran and Sunnah guidance on that. Some people say, oh, look at the name of his father and his name, same thing as the hadith described. I said, no, we cannot still say that because a lot of things that are not being fulfilled before the coming of the Mahdi. Especially one very important point about the Mahdi is that he will not say, I am the Mahdi, give me bayah. Okay, people will go to him, and that will happen because of the circumstance. We do not have that circumstance right now that was mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. So people say, oh, look, this is the Mahdi from that Jordanian king family, and they are the family of Banu Hashim, so the progeny, they're the descendant of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I said, no, that is not the case. And then some people say, as I said, that MBS, he is the Mahdi. And Shia people, they believe that this guy, forget about being Mahdi, he's a very evil guy. And they said, our Mahdi, he's hiding somewhere. So I have also actually Shia people coming to my channel commenting on Imam Mahdi, and they got really mad at me because remember, Iran and Saudi Arabia, they have a problem, right? So if you say Mahdi is in Saudi Arabia, obviously Shia people, they are going to freak out. Now, I want to tell you a few things before I answer this question, is MBS the Mahdi? So a lot of people, as I said, they have quoted, and the first thing they have mentioned to me, the possibility of the MBS becoming the Mahdi is because look at what he did to Saudi Arabia. He reformed a lot of things. He brought a lot of tourism to his country. I'll mention more about this in a second. He look at the entertainment industry in Saudi Arabia. They're flourishing. They're making a lot of money. So during the time of Mahdi, we will be enjoying a lot of wealth. Muslims will be well off. So look at what MBS is doing. Exactly what Mahdi was supposed to be doing. So he is the Mahdi. Again, this is some people will claim. But the most important claim they will have is that just like Mahdi, he will unite the Muslim Ummah. MBS, according to them, is doing that exactly. On December 6th, this month, okay, a few days ago only, he went to the Gulf countries like he went to Oman, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, and now he's also reconciling with Turkey. So he's the people who support MBS and him being the Mahdi, they say, look, The Mahdi will reconcile, unite the Ummah, and this is exactly what MBS is doing. Therefore, he is the Mahdi. Again, don't blame me for saying this. This is coming from people. This is coming from your comments and a lot of your opinion. Okay, so is MBS the Mahdi? This is what I want to talk about. On top of all of this, though, I also want to mention one more thing. MBS, Muhammad bin Salman, he is someone who is also now quoting hadith. Okay, you have seen his interview, go and check it out. In those interviews, he will tell you hadith, how to apply them, how to understand them. So people say, look, he even has knowledge about the Quran and Sunnah. So that makes it even much stronger for him to be the Mahdi. What is the answer? Is he the Mahdi? So before I tell you whether he is the Mahdi or not, I want to tell you a few things about his ancestors, okay? Because once you understand this, then it will be much easier for you to understand is MBS, Muhammad bin Salman, is actually the Mahdi or not. So ancestor basically means people, his family, okay, where they came from. So the earliest recorded ancestor of Saudi, or the Saud family, was Mani ibn Rabi'a al-Muraidi. Okay, Mani ibn Rabi'a al-Muraidi, he settled in the area called Diriyah, and that happened in the year, I believe, 1446 to 1447. That was the time when he settled there. And his clan's name was Mruda. Okay, Mruda. In other words, this new tribe or clan, whatever you call it, came into existence way after the coming of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 14th century, only how many centuries? 6-7 centuries ago. But the Prophet he came 14th century ago. But this clan, they came into existence 6th century ago. So there is this huge gap. In other words, I'm not saying just because of that gap they are not descendant of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but what I'm saying, because of this gap, it makes it very harder for any one of us to say, if not impossible to say, that they do not have any member from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, because the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they could not be vanished for so many centuries and then all of a sudden they pop up. In other words, that one factor would make it absolutely clear, dear brothers and sisters, that Mahdi is not from the MBS family, from the Saudi family. Now, few other things that I want to mention to you, very, very important. They use the title for their royal interview, or to be called, to be addressed. They use different titles. So for example, the title that they use is called Amir. Okay, Amir basically means prince. Amir or prince, but sons and daughters in that family, Saud family, and the grandson and the granddaughter, patrilineal granddaughter and grandsons, carry the title His Highness. Okay, is His Highness. Why I'm mentioning this to you? It is because, dear brothers and sisters, the Mahdi is a title given to who? The Mahdi himself. That title is not something he will assume. That title is not something he will declare with. He will not say, I am the Mahdi, because this is something he would not want. He will run away from it, in fact. When the scholars, during the time of the end of time, will go and give him bayah, he will run away from them. And so they will have to go back and forth. Makkah to Medina, 3 times. Okay, according to one narration, 3 times. Finally, they will tell him, no, enough is enough, you are the Mahdi. In other words, so the royal family, they carry different titles. And these titles, you can easily see, they are related with highness, royal, and king, and prince, and whatnot. Means these are like almost like a gentry, landed gentry. You have to give them this honor, this respect. They will take it from you. The Mahdi, people will give their honor, respect. So if you take a look at these titles, you can clearly see there is a discrepancy between who the Mahdi is and how he will treat those kind of things like titles. And you can see Saudi Arabia, how they're taking those titles and asking people to use those titles. Now, the Mahdi, the past of this Saud family, okay, MBS family, is Allah about fighting Muslim rulers. It's all about, sorry, Allah, it's all about fighting Muslim rulers. The Saud family, in the past, they were fighting who? The first one, they fight the Sharif of Mecca. The Al-Rashid family, they fought of Hail, they fought against them. And they also fought against the Ottoman Empire since 1932. The family of Mahdi is a family of reconciling different sects and groups. It is not a family of conflict, in other words. So that, even that quality or characteristic is missing from this family, that makes them invalid, that makes them illegitimate to be an entity who can hold the title of the Mahdi. Now, a lot of people, they say this kingdom will come to an end once the WW3 will happen, or even after WW3, according to some shaykh, even today they say, oh no, the MBS, the Saud family will be still in existence even after WW3. And I said no. Right after WW3, the status quo will be gone, because I mentioned so many points that nullify the notion that the family is the Mahdi family. None of this, as I mentioned in the points, would make them the family. So how can you say, if they're really not the family of Saud, how can you say they will be in existence after WW3? Because after WW3, Khilafah will come, number one. Number two, because the people, remember 3 sons of Khalif, they will be fighting. Number two, after WW3, the status quo, the whole world, it will be completely replaced by something else. The Saud family, they would also, they will not be like vanished, but they will not be in power after WW3. So if they are not in power and they will fight for Khilafah, how can they fight for Khilafah when we know that people who will be fighting for Khilafah at that time will claim that we are the legitimate government for the Muslim Ummah, not just for Saudi Arabia, but for Muslim Ummah, because this is a clear indication that this Khilafah, this Khalif, they will be trying to rule over the entire Muslim world. If you read Hadith, this is the impression you get. So how can Saudi family can all of a sudden say, we are the Khalif, we're going to rule over the entire Muslim country, Muslim world, when they never had a tiny bit of contribution to the Muslim Ummah right now? They're doing very little, in other words. So for these reasons, brothers and sisters, we can say and safely say that no, the Mahdi is not the MBS. I hope you will not accuse me of anything else. As I said, Allahu A'lam who is the Mahdi when the end of time will come. I wanted to make this video to make these things absolutely clear for all of us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.